And good evening, wrestling fans. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's edition of AIWF Ringside Wrestling. Hi, my name is Mad Matt Carter. So glad to have you along. We are coming to you live from the PWD studios in Concord, North Carolina. And boy, have we got, an exciting program for you. I believe we have, we were supposed to have a couple of guests with us tonight. James Anthony is supposed to be with us tonight, as well as one half of the AIWF World Tag Team Champions, Joe King of the Real Life Freaks is supposed to be joining us tonight. Don't see that either one of them is here. Joe is in the meeting room. Joe, are you there? Nothing. Okay. Well, I tell you what we'll do, folks. Let's go ahead and get into the announcements. Let me share my screen and we will get started with our slideshow. And here we go. Oh, you've already seen that one. So, okay, as usual, for advertising inquiries on the AIWF Roku channel, please email us at AIWF20@hotmail.com. That goes for all AIWF advertising inquiries as well, not only on the Roku channel, but I'm sure we can get you a great deal advertising at our live events or our Mid-Atlantic Facebook page or any of the AIWF Facebook pages. It's certainly well worth your time to shoot us a line and see how we can help you. Guarantee you we will have some of the best advertising rates in all of media for you to get the word out there. Speaking of great advertisers, holy guacamole, thank you, King's Hot Dogs, for always being a loyal supporter of AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. Certainly do appreciate their support over the years. And they have just been with us all the way. Great food there, great hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken wings. It's the home place of Boner's Hot Sauce. I've still got some of my big gallon jug in the refrigerator and doused some chicken wings in it last night. Great stuff. So let's get on to the announcements, folks. Custom Creations presents WDWA Pro Wrestling coming up Saturday, May 22nd at Customs Creations at 605B Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg, West Virginia. All seats $15 for the event. The bell time is 6 p.m. The doors open at 5. And for more information on this big event, you can telephone 681-247-2460. Again, that telephone number, 681-247-2460. Also, that day, Pro Wrestling Seminar with the Hawaiian Warrior Keikoa. And you can see the topics there that they're going to cover. Diet and nutrition, which you definitely don't want to talk to yours truly about. Conditioning, not another strong suit of mine, no. Increase your bookings, increase your value, your in-your-green work, and how to prepare for your tryout. The cost is only $10, and that'll be, of course, Saturday, May 22nd at the WDWA Training Center. Same address there, Winchester Avenue, 605B Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia. The seminar starts at 2:30, ends at 4 p.m. And for more info, you can log on to facebook.com, WDWA Wrestling. Also coming up this weekend, Saturday night, Nashville, Tennessee is the place for the Pro Wrestling Seminar hosted by former ECW and WWE superstar Super Crazy. And that is going to be going on 3 p.m. today for pro wrestlers only. Just getting a word from here. Just hang on with me, folks. Live TV here. James Anthony just let me know that he's going to be here at 8 p.m. So we'll try to keep you occupied till he gets here. Joe King, have you joined us yet? Nothing. Okay. All right. Let's see. Going on here about the Super Crazy seminar. $20 entry fee. 2 attendees will be chosen by Super Crazy to wrestle in a match on CCW's Lucha Mania 2 event later that night. And of course, that's this Saturday, excuse me. If you're in the Nashville area, you can look them up at ccwrestlingfl.com for more information. All right. And of course, my home base. Can't help but talk about the big one coming up this Saturday night in Mount Airy, North Carolina, 7:30 bell time. Doors open at 6:30. There you see the bottom left of the poster there. King's Hot Dog, the sponsor. AIWF Mid-Atlantic presents the Sure Shot Rumble. It's going to be a great event, and I am aware of a couple of matches signed for, well, actually 3 signed for this event. Check this out, folks. The angry Ty Tyson is getting his rematch this Saturday night against Gorilla Q. That is going to be something. And I don't think referee Reggie Cassidy, Mr. 123, is going to want to be anywhere close to the ring for that one. Again, that's this Saturday night, Veterans Park in Mount Airy. Looking forward to that one. Also on the event, as you can see here, May 15th, bottom left bracket there, Josh Strong, Nate Diamond take on Mount Kilpis in the second match of the first round of the Dangerous Don Carson Memorial Tag Team Tournament for 2021. As you can see, the Pink Gang has already advanced, and the winner of this match will face them in the semifinals on July 17th. Interesting to note here, fans, the Pink Gang put their title on the line, the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Tag Team title, back on May 1st. And successfully defended it. I will be interested to see if they're not going to defend this title all the way through the tournament. If I get a chance in our pre-show, I will talk to them about that and see if they plan on defending the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Tag Team titles. Looks like Joe King has joined us, one half of the World Tag Team Champions, the Real Life Freaks. Thank you, Joe, for coming on board tonight. How are you, sir? I can't hear you, brother. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Go right ahead. Thank you for joining us.
Got
it. All right. So as one half of the Tag Team Champions is with us, we're going to go ahead and let's see here. Going to move on through the announcement. Joe, just bear with me. I'm going through our announcements real quick, and then we'll get started. Again, folks, not only do we have half the World Tag Team Champions with us, James Anthony is going to join us at 8 o'clock. So, of course, the Sure Shot Rumble is coming up this Saturday night in Mount Airy. Can't wait to see everybody there. Now, the Sure Shot Rumble, folks, is going to be a time battle royal, just like the Royal Rumble in WWE. Of course, we can't call it that, or we'll get a cease and desist letter. But it's a time battle royal, and the winner of that matchup will meet whoever the AIWF Mid-Atlantic champion is a guaranteed shot. Will it be Gorilla Q? Will it be Ty Tyson? I don't know. The only way to find out is to be there this Saturday night at Veterans Park. Also coming up this Saturday, May 15th, Lumberton, North Carolina. Ring Wars Carolina presents Lights, Camera, Action television taping. Their tickets only $10 for this event. A free meet and greet with the RWC superstars. Still asking folks to wear a mask, even though the CDC announced today that we don't really need to do that anymore, but unless you're not fully vaccinated, and I don't know why you wouldn't be at this point. But folks, that's going to be a great event. As you can see, Earl Hebner's going to be there, Caribbean Tiger, Lodi and Ron and Amy Shirley going to be there for that big event coming up this Saturday night. Also, let's head to Texas. A big one going on in Paris, Texas on June 5th. $8 admission. Texas Rising Star Wrestling presents Fatality. And Ricky Reyes, former Ring of Honor star and Lucha Underground star, are going to be there, as well as many of the other top stars in Texas Rising Star Wrestling. That is in Paris, Texas, 325 Clement Road. That's on June 5th. And, of course, you can check them out on Facebook and I'll look for more information there. But ought to be a great event coming up on June 5th in Paris, Texas. And now this is the one we've been waiting to tell you about, and I know that Joe King is very interested in, and he's slapping the belt. Yes, sir. This is going to be a big one. 2 days in Houston, Friday and Saturday. And here's the thing, you can get a $10 ticket for one day, or you can go ahead and pony up an extra $5 and get a ticket for both days at the Premier Sports Arena. This is going to be a big 2-night show. Joe King, a lot of superstars on this, including you and your partner, Demented Bradley. And I know that you want to talk about this big match coming up on that event. You guys are putting the AIWF World Tag Team titles on the line, sir.
Yes, indeed we are. And I don't know much about our opponents, to be honest. Well, besides one of the people who I've trained in wrestling, trained one of these guys. I'm not sure which one. But, Bradley and I have been undefeated for about a year now. And we're ready for whoever is in our way to try to take these from us.
Well, it's certainly very prestigious, the AIWF World Tag Team title, and when we get done with the announcements, Joe, I'm gonna talk to you more about the night you won those and what has happened since then. Big one coming up in Houston this weekend. Don't miss it, folks, if you're in Texas. Saturday, May 15th, this one taking place in Rockingham, North Carolina, Adrenaline Wrestling Retaliation. Doors open at 5:15. The bell time 6:15. It's at the Richmond County Rescue Squad building. Tickets only $10 for this one. The address there is 1004 Rockingham Road in Rockingham, North Carolina. And according to their latest poster, face masks still required for that event, but definitely want to see you if you're out in the sand hills of North Carolina. Want to see you there for Adrenaline Pro Wrestling in Rockingham. Also, our friends at Shockwave Wrestling Entertainment. Joe King, I know this is a special place for you. They are presenting, I don't know how to pronounce this.
Malevolent.
Malevolent. Thank you, sir. Yeah, you can tell I went to school, broadcasting school. That'll take place at the Shockwave Arena at the Craven County Fairgrounds out on Highway 70 East in New Bern. And folks, even it's always a fun time going to New Bern. As a matter of fact, we went, my wife and I went down to New Bern to check out Shockwave Wrestling Entertainment back last year during the height of the pandemic during their outdoor show, and found a new vacation spot. So not only will you get to see some great wrestling, New Bern, one of the most picturesque places on the East Coast, right at the base of the Neuse River. So definitely want to get out there and check out Shockwave Wrestling Entertainment, a great venue and a great promotion. Certainly great friends there. Bell time 7 p.m. on that one this Saturday night. Also, speaking of Shockwave Wrestling Entertainment, look at this. They have hit the big time. They are going to be featured on Fight TV. You can buy a pay-per-view. You can buy the pay-per-view and look in. I'm not sure. This is a simulation. I don't think it's going to be a live broadcast. But no, it's not. Okay, thank you, Joe. But they are on Fight TV now, and so we are certainly just overjoyed that Shockwave Wrestling Entertainment is on Fight TV, so you can check out the action right from New Bern. If you can't make it all the way down to the East Coast, you can check it out on Fight TV. And with the sparsity of gasoline right now in North Carolina, that might just be the way to go.
Yes, it might.
Yes, sir. So here we go. This is in Oklahoma, I believe. Lucha Night. Yes, it's Midwest City, Oklahoma, right outside Oak City, May 22nd. Bell time 6 p.m. Only $10 to get in. You see there the women going to be on the card: Skylar Slice, Stormy Renee, Lilith Grimm, Morgan Levy. I hope I'm saying that one right. But that's going to be, yeah, no kidding. They'll come after me, right?
Right.
So that one's on May 22nd, coming up next weekend. Midwest City, Oklahoma, right outside Oak City. And of course, last but not least, June 19th, Georgia Wrestling Extreme presents the Jerry Stevens Tribute Show, 313 Pine Avenue, Albany, Georgia. Doors open at 5:30, bell time 6:30 p.m. for this event. Ringside $15, remaining ringside $12, general admission $10. and proceeds go to the Stevens family. So that's our announcement board. And again, for advertising inquiries, you can always hit us up, AIWF20@hotmail.com. But let's welcome to the program right now, one half of the World Tag Team Champions, Joe King of the Real Life Freaks. Welcome to the program, sir. So glad you could join us. And you are in the middle of a big, big event coming up in Houston this weekend. Are you ready for that long trip?
Yeah, I am very ready for this trip. I've been looking forward to it for a long time. Bradley and I have been undefeated for the past year. And we've taken on all comers, which, during the pandemic really hasn't been too many. But we're trying to get out every weekend, trying to travel and defend these titles because these mean the world to us, literally. I mean, world tag team titles, legit,
And Joe, let's talk about that. I mentioned how the wife and I had come down to New Bern to see wrestling last year at the height of the pandemic. It was the night that you guys won those titles at Shockwave Wrestling Entertainment. Now, that fans, if you don't remember, we couldn't gather anywhere indoors. So what Shockwave did before anybody else started running again, at least as far as I know in the AIWF, they said, "Hang on. We've got such a good facility here. Let's put the ring on the concert stage outside at the fairgrounds and have everybody drive in." And you had basically a drive-in wrestling match, which was something I had never seen before, and certainly got a big kick out of it. And you guys wrestled, I believe you had to wrestle two matches at the end of a tournament, right? Is that correct, Joe?
It was supposed to be a tournament, but the match itself ended up being a gauntlet.
That's right. And now when you guys got there that night, you were already champions, but had to surrender those titles to compete in the gauntlet match. Is that right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, we were at the time, we were the AIWF East Coast Tag Team Champions, but one of the head honchos in charge, Matt Maven, decided that in order for us to be a part of the World Tag Team title match, that we had to surrender the East Coast titles. And Bradley and I have always bet on ourselves. So we decided, you know what, we're going to go for it. So we gave him the East Coast titles, and it turned out being a good move for us.
Yeah, it certainly did work out well. And the funny thing, I was sitting in the crowd for that match. I wasn't working that show. I bought a ticket and came in just like everybody else. And when Maven confronted you guys and was saying, "Hey, you have to surrender these titles," the reaction in the crowd was mixed. There were a lot of people that did not want to see you guys hand over their titles because they said, "Oh man, that's a trap." I heard two guys to the right of me saying, "Oh no, this is a trap. They're setting them up."
Knowing Matt Maven, the plan all along was to make us give them up and then screw us in the end. But that wasn't the case. He seemed to have too much on his plate that night. And he may have forgotten about us, figured out, they're going to lose anyways.
Yeah.
But we proved him wrong.
Yeah, no doubt. You guys certainly did. And you walked out with the World Tag Team Championship. So, Joe, talk us through and take your time. Go into as much detail as you want. That's a good thing here. The great thing about broadcasting on the internet, we don't have to follow TV formats anymore. So you can kind of walk us through. You guys win the title back last year, and you said you've been undefeated for a year. Where have you gone and defended the title? And I know you've probably had too many defenses to count, but where all have you been?
We've actually been to Rockingham, North Carolina, the show you just mentioned. We've been to that company, defended them there. We've seen a couple other different companies in Carolina. We've been trying to get up to Pennsylvania, but that's been hit or miss with COVID issues and whatnot.
Right.
We were supposed to go to Puerto Rico, and we couldn't travel because of the pandemic. So
because
we've been doing everything we can to get out and try to spread the word on, hey, these are the World Tag Team titles. These are the biggest belts in the AIWF. And we were all about trying to get the name out and show everybody what we could do as a team.
Yeah, the pandemic certainly has messed up a whole lot of that. But hopefully now that things are starting to open up, you guys will be able to get out and get that name out. I mean, hey, you're going to Houston this weekend for a big title defense. And I think it says a lot about what you guys have to put up with. being world tag team champions? Because you said you didn't even know anything really about your opponents. You guys are kind of going into this blind.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen them on posters. I haven't really researched their matches, which is kind of my fault. Maybe I should do that before the show comes up and see what I'm dealing with here.
Right.
But from what I understand, one of the team members was a trainee of somebody who I trained. So I'm not sure which one, but I'm going to try to maybe get him one-on-one in this match and see how well he was taught.
Yeah, well, I hope things work out for you. It certainly is something when you're a traveling champion like this. It can get very hazardous. Very hazardous.
I'm hoping the jet lag does not come into play during the title defense, because that would be a shame.
Okay, well, you guys are wrestling according to the poster, I believe, on Saturday. When are you headed down to Houston?
I believe we're leaving Friday afternoon. I think we have a layover in Denver, and then from Denver to Houston. So we got a little bit of a haul.
Man, you sure do. And just so the fans know, if you're okay disclosing this, where are you guys based at? So where are you guys going to be flying from?
I'm actually based out of Virginia. I live in like Newport News, Yorktown area. Bradley's not far from me. We're flying out of Norfolk.
Oh, okay. All right. So another Virginia guy, Crockett country represented here. I originally grew up in Virginia. I just moved to Charlotte here about 7 years ago. So yeah, I'm from the west side of the state though. I'm there from Martinsville. So that's interesting. We had our first guest 2 weeks ago was Daniel Halen. He's another Virginia guy. And so Joe, you're our second Virginia guy on the show. So, and I think James Anthony's a Statesville, North Carolina guy. So,
yep, yes.
So,
go ahead. You also got the current reigning and defending AIWF World Champion Damian Wayne.
Yeah,
he is from the same wrestling training school that I came from.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So we're covering the same cloth, you could say.
Yeah, and Damian Wayne was on our show last week, and boy, we talked about growing up. And I don't know if how old you are. I'm going to date myself, but growing up during the Crockett era, and he was telling us about going to wrestling for the first time. So let me open that can of worms with you. How did you discover this sport? And let's just start with that. How did you discover the sport? Where did you see it?
Well, I started watching wrestling. I think I was about 5. Give or take. My grandmother got me into it. She watched the pay-per-view. She'd ordered the WCW pay-per-views, and Sting was the guy who inspired me to become a wrestler.
Right. Okay. All right. What year do you think you started watching? If you had to guess,
probably 1990, maybe about that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So you were a little too late for the Crockett days, but still in the meat and potatoes of WCW, and certainly Sting was an inspiration to a lot of people. When did you go to your first live event?
My first WCW or WB event, or
big time national promotion.
Probably mid 90s, 93, 94, somewhere in there. I was definitely younger.
What do you remember about that card, if you don't mind sharing with us?
I just remember the sound of the ring, like the guys just taking the moves, and just the atmosphere, the live crowd. If I remember correctly, the show I went to was a house show, not televised. So a lot of crowd interaction with the wrestlers. It was all lit up. Were the stage lights of TV. It was all lit up, and it was just it was very awe inspiring. I loved watching it. I want to do this when I grow up, and I kind of am.
Yeah, you certainly have, and you're and you're a world champion at that too. So that's absolutely fantastic. So you mentioned you came from the same training school as the world champion Damian Wayne. About what year did you break into the business and start training?
See, I had my first training session, I believe it was September of 2002.
Okay.
I had my first match in November of 2003. So I've been wrestling for a good while.
Boy, you sure have. You're a grizzly veteran at this point, because I always tell people until you hit your 10th year, you're still green.
Yeah.
And I firmly believe that. So that's awesome, man. That is really, really cool. So you talked about Sting making you kind of inspiring you to be a great competitor. What other wrestlers, and you can talk about indie guys or national promotion guys, like what other wrestlers have inspired you throughout your career? Have you patterned yourself after anybody, so to speak?
Yeah, Sting definitely. I would say Christian Cage, really big influence on me.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't tell by the mask, which this wasn't done on purpose, the way the mask was from little Mortis Canyon, little
Mm-hmm.
kid to him.
Who's better than Canyon?
Exactly,
Love that guy.
exactly. He didn't become an inspiration until later. I really started watching his stuff, the way he would innovate moves and offense, and when I got this mask made, originally I never wore the mask. I always wore face paint to
Mm-hmm.
emulate Sting. But when I got the mask made, it was to kind of my partner Bradley. He's always wearing the mask.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot different than mine, but I was like, you know what? I wanna be, you know, feel the tag team. Just feel it like we're gonna look like a team. We're gonna win like a team. That's what I was going for. And when I got the mask made, it was just for an entrance and take the mask off and then wrestle. And it's like, I want to wear the mask when I wrestle. And the guy who made it, Rockwell Masks, I'll put him over.
Right.
Rockwell Masks did a good job. Gave him a lot of creative freedom. I'm like, dude, make me this kind of a skull maybe. And what he gave me is what you see here. And I am incredibly happy with his work. And I just feel so good wearing this and being in the ring and just defending these titles.
Right. Well, that's not unusual. I mean, there's been a lot of famous wrestlers that have wore masks throughout the years, and I'm going to go real old school on you right here. Bill Eadie, who was like
Yes.
the superstar, and then he was Axe of Demolition. I met the guy one time. You want to talk about a class act? Boy, he really is. But he was always comfortable in the mask, and some guys hate them. They'll tell you that I hate wearing a mask. I can't see and everything. But then there's guys like you who just swear by them. Who wouldn't be caught dead without them in the ring. Do you feel like the mask gives you a psychological advantage, or even a more, or even another type of advantage? I mean, besides psychological.
Absolutely. See, when I first started, I wore the traditional, over the years, I wore the traditional wrestling mask, the small eye holes, the small mouth
Mm,
hole, and it's very claustrophobic, and you can't see any peripherals.
right.
This this mask I have on here, I can see better, I can breathe, I can
Yeah.
talk, I can get the point across, and it's a little intimidating to some of my opponents, which is also good.
Yeah,
But
I have to admit, the first time I saw you guys, those masks are intimidating.
yes,
But
and it's like putting on a pair of sunglasses. It's like I feel invincible when I wear this. Like I feel like I can lift any opponent over my head and slam them to the mat. Doesn't matter how big or how strong they are.
right, that is fantastic, and it just gives you it's such wrestling is such a psychological game as much as it is physical. Like you talk about, like when you play golf, that's 90% mental. When you bowl, that's 80% mental. But like wrestling, I really believe is one of the only sports that's just about 50-50. Well, I shouldn't say one of the only sports, but it's one of these sports where it's really as much of a mental game as it is a physical game, maybe more so a mental game. And Joe, you're a wrestler. Hey, I've been an announcer for 25 years. I've never set foot in the ring except just to do interviews. Yeah, I mean, would you agree with that statement, or am I way off base?
No, I absolutely agree. See, some people like to watch tape. Some people like to go to the gym and lift heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm more of the watch video, lift a little type of guy. Some people spend way too much time in the gym getting big and bulky and strong, which is good for them.
Right.
But I watch and I learn. I can pick somebody apart in the ring without having to lift them up over my head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good,
Yeah,
good thinking. Good thinking. Yeah,
absolutely.
it's amazing everything that goes into it. And I've met so many people over the years, and everybody seems to have their own strategy about how you should go about things in the ring and whatnot. So, where did you and your partner, Demented Bradley, first get together? You've been wrestling a long time. When did you guys get together?
So we got together about, I want to say it was 2.5 years ago, give or take.
Really?
Yeah, we were going to shows. Sometimes we'd ride together. We'd fight each other a lot, and we got to thinking, hey, let's start tagging because we're at shows together a lot, and we had chemistry when we fought each other. So
Right.
you know what? We fight. We can tag, and it just happened. And like I've tagged with many different people over the years, and I can honestly say I've never had a better tag partner.
Wow, that's great to hear. And the reason I said I was like, wow, when you said you've been teaming 2.5 years, because I've been aware of you guys for just about a year now, I guess. When did you win those tag team titles? Was that in April or May, or was it June? Do you
I
remember
think it
exactly?
was. I think it was July.
Was it July?
Hey,
Okay, so that's when I
yeah.
first became aware of you guys. But you guys handed over a title that night and then won the World Tag Team title, and have been undefeated since then. So
Yeah.
even with COVID, I don't want to hear all that. You guys as champions cannot control a freaking global pandemic, so you have no control over it. You'd be defending every weekend. I know if you could have this
We've
whole
tried.
time. You
Yeah.
know, and so I don't want to hear people well, they need an asterisk by their name because of the pandemic. No, it wasn't under their control. So it'd be different if you were juiced up on steroids or something. That'd be another conversation altogether.
Yep.
But I was impressed that, I really did sitting there watching those matches that night. I figured you guys had been teaming together for at least 3-4 years. That's incredible.
I appreciate that because like when we decided to make it happen and actually do a tag team, it was like I trusted him as far as everything in the ring and whatnot goes, but like to develop chemistry as a team it doesn't come easy. Yeah, you have to work for it. You have to be more matches together, and it just clicked. Me and him just click as a team. And you know what? Like we're gonna keep these as long as we possibly can. And if for some reason one day when we finally lose these, whether we get them back or we go back after the East Coast titles because we never lost those. So whatever comes next after these, or if somebody comes calling to us to go sign a contract somewhere, who knows?
Yeah, so help me understand, and we're about to flip over to the poster for the big event that you guys got coming up this weekend in Houston. You're talking about the AIWF East Coast titles now. Guilty as charged. I'm not as familiar with the traveling titles as I am with my home base promotion, Mid Atlantic and Mount Airy. So the East Coast titles now, are they traveling championships like the world titles, or are they based in Shockwave, or how does that work?
They were originally based in Shockwave, but they are currently traveling titles. They were made to travel. Me and Bradley had them. We tried to travel and defend them, but some places didn't want have us to defend our titles because some of the places we go to aren't AIWF related. So there's that. But we put our names out there, try to contact promoters like, hey, we're the East Coast champions. Now we're the world champions, and like, hey, we want to be on your show. We want to defend our titles. Bring us in.
Mm-hmm. And it's a good time to talk to the promoters right now. I think about that. The AIWF network affiliation is not an instrument to put over any particular promotion. It's to help wrestlers and especially make sure the fans are always guaranteed great action, but mostly to help you guys, the wrestlers, get your names out there all over the country. And I think it's a great tool to use. I mean, you can send me your poster and you got free advertising on this program every Thursday night. Now, granted, this is only the third one, and it'll probably take 6 months or a year before everybody realizes we're here. But and that's why I appreciate you, Joe, coming on the show, and everybody that's come on so far, because it's still in its infancy. But this is a great place to get free advertising and get your name out there, promoters and wrestlers. Then all you have to do is reach out to myself, Rick Diesel, Matt Classic, any of us, and send me your posters, and they'll get on the slideshow, and we will advertise your show all the way to the ground. But I do have something I need to point out here that I just noticed. It looks like Caribbean Tiger may be double booked, because I thought I saw him on a poster earlier for a show in North Carolina, but it looks like he's going to be in Houston this weekend too. So,
Oh yeah, he's I believe he's on the Friday show there, and then the Saturday show another day. I saw that too because I saw him last week, and I was like, "Hey, you're gonna be at the show," but I wasn't sure what day.
So I don't know how much you can tell me about this, Joe. It says on the poster here, all promoters invited. Is there going to be a big meeting of AIWF regional promoters there that you're aware of, or because I'm just finding out the details about this show today, to be honest with you?
Yeah, I certainly hope so. This is an opportunity for promoters all over, whether it be Texas, whether it be Louisiana, any state surrounding, especially, to get a look at the talent of the AIWF. This is a showcase. This is supposed to be some of the top tier talent that are willing to make the travel to Houston, of all places, where big events like WrestleMania in the past were held. And this is their opportunity to show it, hey, this is what I can do. This is what I can bring to your company. And I am very thankful for the AIWF because being a part of it and having these is affording us a trip to make it to wrestle in Houston, of all places, which is that's a goal. And it's going to happen this weekend.
Absolutely, Joe. And you know, I don't know how much you know about Houston wrestling history, but I'll kind of go over it with the fans. You know, that's Paul Bosch country right there. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm getting notifications in my ears. James Anthony's having a little trouble signing in. Let me see. I need to get him the meeting link. Hang on.
Are you good?
Let's see if I can find it here. That's giving me the post attendee. I need to stop sharing my screen there. Hang on just a second. See if I can find the ID. Sorry, folks. It's just live TV for you. But anyway, you know, we're talking about Houston. That's Paul Bosch country. You know, that was a big independent area, you know, and part of the NWA way back when. He was bought out by McMahon in, I think, 87. But, you know, that whole part of the country, that's the old Mid-South territory. And you think about Dallas, I mean, the history there with the Von Erichs and Texas, just all kinds of things. And it's a great, great area and great history there. So definitely going to be a big deal there, and certainly hope that everybody makes some good connections and everything else come this Saturday night. And I know you've talked about it. You guys are looking really forward to defending the tag team titles.
Absolutely. Don't know much about the team, like I said earlier, but we're gonna give them whatever we got. It's gonna take a really good team to take these from us. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wish you the best of luck. Let me see if I can help James out. Sorry, guys. He's asking for the meeting ID, and I'm like, I can't see it right now because the show's going on. I'm only using one monitor, so that's I'm gonna have to break down and get another monitor. That's I mean, that's just. I'm trying to be professional here, but let's be honest, Joe. We've spared every expense we can to bring you this program.
I'm trying to see if I can find it. Let me see.
Let's see.
Need the ID number?
Yeah, he needs the meeting ID.
Let me see if I can find it. Come on.
I was thinking it was in the link that I sent him, but
it should be. It's the one I use. I'm not super tech savvy either, so I figured it out. I think it's 819
819
54
54
98
98
53
53
12.
12. So 819 5498 5312.
Yeah.
Okay, let me send him that and see if that'll get him in. We'll find out. Just bear with us, folks. Like I said, I'm not that tech savvy either. Most of my electronics knowledge is self-taught, so and I'm not a very good teacher. So read into that what you want. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and see if I can't get our slideshow back up here so we can continue advertising. So yeah, great chance for all you folks to come out and see wrestling in Houston. This is a big showcase for the AIWF. You know, AIWF Commissioner Rick Diesel, when I talked to him earlier today, was really excited about this show. So Joe, are you aware I mean, you guys are coming from Virginia. Do you know about, and I guess Caribbean Tiger, he's a North Carolina guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
So where are some other places you know of some of the people that are coming to this show?
I believe Lilith Grimm is coming from Denver, Colorado, where we're going to have to travel to get there. So,
wow, yeah.
Yeah, I believe she's coming. She's on the Friday show, so we will be passing by.
Right. I got you. So from Denver, North Carolina, Virginia, it's no telling where else. You're gonna probably meet a lot of people there, and it's gonna be a wild time. It sounds like in Houston. So folks, if you're in the Houston, Texas area, make sure you get out, check out the show. It's 2 nights, the 14th and the 15th, for the big AIWF wrestling show coming up in Houston. And of course, we'll just keep running through these ads. So see if James is able to join us. Yeah, he's asking for the passcode. He should need.
Yeah, should need it, but maybe he does. James, a former AIWF Cruiserweight champion, I believe.
Yeah, he is. He's a former World Cruiserweight champion, as well as a former AIWF Mid-Atlantic Cruiserweight champion. So
there you go.
In typical James Anthony fashion, he is disrupting this show and not even appeared on it yet. So let me see here what I can find. Because I've got the post attendee information up here. Let's see. I apologize for this, folks. Let me see the guts of this meeting. He's saying he needs the passcode. I don't know.
I'm going to send him an invite. Maybe that'll work.
Okay, yeah, let's try that. Let's see.
I think that's it. Well, I'm about to find out.
I told him, I said, look for an invite coming from Joe.
I hope that's him.
We're about to find out. Yeah. And we're also, what we're trying to do here is make this broadcast available to the fans as well. If fans wanted to call and talk to us, or join the Zoom and ask questions, they're definitely free to do that. But hadn't had any participants yet. Had somebody log on last week and listen to the show for about 3 minutes, and then I guess they got bored and left. Maybe they just switched over to YouTube. I don't know. But go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
No, I was laughing at your joke. I thought it was funny.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All 11 strong subscribers. I mean, I'm not gonna give you wrestling numbers and tell you the place was sold out every week. Like I said, again, we're just getting started, and it'll take a while for people to even know we're here. So, and even if James is not able to join us tonight, I'm still very thrilled that he at least made the attempt. And Joe, I was so glad that you came on it. It's very last minute. I try to put out the link and put in all the AIWF chats, on Monday or Sunday or Monday that I'm looking for guests, but like I said, really hadn't caught on yet. So it's usually a last minute booking deal that we have to come in here. But folks, if you're out there, wrestlers, promoters, especially if you want to get the word out about your show, please come and join us here on AIWF Ringside Wrestling. We would love to have you. And like I said, it's some of the best free advertising in wrestling. And again, I just am so happy and just thrilled and tickled pink and whatever other cliches you'd like to put on here about Shockwave Wrestling in New Bern getting on Fight TV. That's going to be great. And certainly for those of you who cannot travel all the way down to the very eastern edge of North Carolina to see Shockwave, you can tune in via Fight TV. And it's sure cheaper than gas will be to go all the way down there. That's for sure. And I say that living here in Concord, right near Charlotte, it's a 4-hour hump down the highway all the way to the East Coast. But I'm looking for an excuse this summer, I'm sure, to go down there and sit in the crowd again, just so I can go to New Bern for a few days.
A little known fact: New Bern, the birthplace of Pepsi Cola.
It sure is. I have been to the place that happened and actually had a Pepsi in there. And that pharmacy actually burned. And the only original wood still in that building, according to the lady that was working there, is like some of the paneling along the floor where the stairs go down to the basement. All of that, the rest of it's been replicated because the pharmacy actually burned. So.
Yeah, I know that.
Also, New Bern was the first capital of North Carolina. Yeah, yep. So you're getting a history lesson tonight too. And in those days, as I'm going to get back to wrestling really quick, but I learned a lot when I went down there. I went to the museum and everything. Back in those days, North Carolina and Tennessee were all one state. It was just North Carolina, and I cannot imagine what a chore it would have been to govern that much space. From all the way where New Bern is now, if you think about it. I mean, that's a long range that you have to reach out to. So I can definitely see why it's split into 2 states. No doubt about it. That's just too much area to cover. All right, Joe, I don't know if James is going to be able to join us or not.
He's talking to me right now on Messenger, so I'm trying to get him on.
Oh, okay. Fun times.
Technology, love it.
You gotta love it. If not, we get James on next week because I'm trying to keep this show at about an hour. So let me do one little time killing thing here. I have a book here that I wanted to show to everybody. If you're into a bunch of results, it's a book by Bo James that I got that shows Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, Jim Crockett Promotions records, 1980 to 1981. And today is May 13th. So this is what was going on May 13th back in 1986. Richburg, South Carolina, JCP ran a TV taping. And the only results here that are listed are the Midnight Express beat Rocky Kernoodle and Denny Brown. And then the other one is Midnight Express beat Rocky King and Sam Houston. So not much of a card there. Let's go to the next night in Raleigh at Dorton Arena. Baron Von Raschke beat the Italian Stallion. The Italian Stallion had the largest head of any wrestler I think I've ever seen. T.J. Khan beat Denny Brown. The Barbarian beat Todd Champion. Jimmy Garvin beat Wahoo McDaniel in a Texas death match. I cannot hardly believe that. There must have been some skullduggery going on there. Jimmy Valiant beat Pez Watley in a lumberjack match. And the Midnight Express beat Manny Fernandez and Hector Guerrero. That one doesn't surprise me. I bet you Cornette whacked somebody with the racket in that match. But let's see here. So as we begin to wind down, I don't know if James is going to be able to answer us, is going to be able to join us or not. But I'm going to try to go through the advertisements again. Whoops. I'm getting a little trigger happy myself. Let's see here. So, but And Joe, I do want to thank you again for joining us, and you got a big deal in Houston this weekend. If you make it through that, what are the plans as you move forward for the Real Life Freaks? What have you and DeBennett Bradley got coming up after this? If you are successful in your defense this weekend, and I'm sure you will be.
Well, after this, we have I believe another title defense scheduled at Shockwave. They have another show on May 22nd.
All right.
I believe it's outdoors at it might still be in the fairgrounds, but I believe it's set up outdoors this time around. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure who our opponents are going to be, but whoever it may be, everything goes well in Houston, and if we don't have a problem, we'll be defending these.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be big trouble for whoever your opponents are. I will see what I can find out about that next match coming up for Shockwave. Wow, they're going to be May 22nd. So, look, folks, lots of great independent wrestling inside and outside the AIWF coming your way this weekend and next weekend. We certainly want to have you there. The best thing you can do, get out and support live independent wrestling, because like I've talked about in the past, and I will say it again ad nauseum, independent wrestling these days is just like the territory wrestling was back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. We are live show dependent. There's some folks that can get on Fight TV, and that's great, but your attendance matters. Your views on Fight TV on these pay-per-views is very important, and it keeps the independents going, the wrestlers and the promoters. And so it's not like the national promotions where we have these big TV multi-billion-dollar deals. It's very, very encompassed on live attendance. So whether you decide to come to an AIWF show or not, if it's just your local indie that's not affiliated with us, that's great. Get out there and support your live local independent wrestling promotion. And as we take one last look at the big poster for Houston, Joe, any final thoughts before we wrap up tonight?
Well, I mean, there's not too much left to say, but our opponents, the Real Life Freaks are the AWF World Tag Team Champions, and they will never be.
Where did you go, Joe? I think you muted yourself. Did we lose Joe? Go ahead, Joe. You're unmuted now. Oh, did we lose Joe? I can see you, but I can't hear you, buddy. Boy, we have been bitten by the tech bug tonight. We got away with it for the first 2 weeks, but we definitely got bitten by the tech bug. Joe's still showing muted. So yes, the Real Life Freaks take on their challengers, the Change. Or is that the Chance? No, the Change. Now, there's a couple of creepy looking guys. I hope that one guy's holding a mask and not a severed head in his left hand. They're scary enough looking as it is. So the Real Life Freaks have definitely got their work cut out for them this Saturday night in Houston. And of course, don't forget about this Saturday night in Mount Airy, this Saturday night in Rockingham. All kinds of great independent wrestling action coming your way this weekend. And of course, next weekend as well. And of course, our friends at Shockwave, we've talked a lot about them down in New Bern. We want to go ahead and mention them again as their big event at Shockwave Arena at the Craven County Fairgrounds coming up this Saturday night. And according to Joe, there may be another event coming up on May 22nd right after that. So it shows 2 weeks in a row for you fans in New Bern in the Craven County area. And of course, Shockwave Wrestling Entertainment on Fight TV now. So head on over there and just look for them. Just enter Shockwave Wrestling Entertainment in the search bar. Take you right where you need to go. And okay, Oak City, get ready. May 22nd, Lucha's coming your way. And of course, June 19th in Albany, Georgia, it's the Jerry Stevens Tribute Show. All that great action coming your way. Be sure to check out these local promotions Facebook pages. And of course, you can visit us at AIWF20@hotmail.com for any advertising inquiries. Joe King, before you head to Houston for the big defense, any last thoughts or words that you'd like to share with us? And it looks like we've lost Joe again. All right. Well, you know what? At this point, folks, let's just flip it over to the last one. Let me do my Bob Connell tribute and say that's all for this week, wrestling fans. And until then, until next time, so long for now. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Either thing.
We're done, Joe. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, Zoom.